Guten Morgen. I'm really tired today, but we gotta go out and go hunting. My hair's a mess, but I still look sexy. So we're gonna hit up this Goodwill. I have no fire today, like no emotion. I'm so tired. It's been a long week at work, but yeah, we're gonna hit this Goodwill, see what's in there, and then I saw it's like 8:55. I saw a garage sale sign on the way to Goodwill that they start at 9, so we'll hit that on our way back. It's Friday, so I don't anticipate there being a mad rush at this one garage sale, but yeah. All right, exciting. So we tried to stop at that garage sale. One of my number one garage sale pet peeves, man. If you're not gonna, it's Friday. If you're not gonna have your garage sale until Friday, don't put your signs out like Thursday night, Friday morning. Put it out Friday night after garage sale hours, after like 3 or 4 o'clock, and that way you know that the garage sale is the next day. It just said yard sale 179 Riverview Drive, whatever it was, but it didn't have any dates on it. And then I'm like, I go over there and there's nobody there, and I'm like, but we stopped at the dollar store and we got a Bang energy drink. I try and taste all the flavors of the Bang energy drinks. This is root beer blaze. It's all right. We did stop at Maxine's, and I've been looking for this game for a long time. It's the Tomb Raider trilogy on PlayStation 3. It was only 15 bucks. You figure you get 3 games on there, that's $5 a game, you know what I mean? But if you're not picking up these PS3 collections, I would recommend doing so immediately. Grab them all. There's a Ratchet and Clank, a Jak and Daxter, a Sly Cooper, Tomb Raider. There's like an Assassin's Creed triple pack, a Hitman triple pack. You know, all that stuff. I was gonna say all that crap, but it's not really crap. First of all, these games are awesome. Tomb Raider Anniversary is amazing. And the other Tomb Raider games on PS2 are really good too. So to have them in HD, I'm not sure they're ever going to be re-released or anything like that, but these collections are going for tons of money. They're just going up in value. There's exclusive bonus content on here. I don't even know what that is, but you definitely want to start grabbing those if you collect PS3. Start looking for PS3 exclusive type games. Formula 1 Championship Edition, Need for Speed The Run, which we'll talk about at the end of the episode because it has PS3 exclusive content. But if you collect 7th gen games, now is probably the time to start getting all of those games that you think about collecting. Those games are like PS2 games like 5-10 years ago. We were like, oh, it's too expensive. And now all of a sudden it's double in price. So if you think it's too expensive now, you should probably just buy it, because coming up here in 5 or 6 years, those games are going to be super expensive. This game is not more than $15, $20 now, but in the future, this is probably going to be one of those $30 games, you know what I mean, that you now can't find everywhere. There's a Disgaea one. I remember at GameStop, I was looking at this game. I'm like, I'll never play this Disgaea game, but I want these triple packs. And I think I paid $18 for it. And go look at that game now, the Disgaea triple play or triple pack for the PS3. It's like $70. It's crazy. So yeah, I was very happy to get this because I just want it for my collection. This isn't like an investment piece for me or anything like that. But what I think it will allow me to do is sell off my PS2 versions, and I'm pretty sure the Anniversary on PS2 is like a $10 game. So then that would make this like $5, you know what I mean? So yeah. Anyway, keep an eye out for those. Flea Market just opened. I missed a game that I should have picked up last week for the Sega Genesis. Tyler knows what I'm talking about, so I'm going to go buy it because I'm having non-buyer's remorse. And I also want to look for the stupid Fantastic Four game, which we'll talk about in a little bit. All right, so last time we went to Goodwill, they had a bunch of games at half off, and we bought a bunch of half off games, you know what I mean? But I was playing the Forza Motorsports with the Xbox Live Arcade, and although the Xbox Live isn't working, there are still demos on those discs, those Xbox Live Arcade discs, that you can play, playable demos, you know? And some of those games I'm not sure were made into actual games or exist on the new version of Xbox Live or whatever the situation is. So I went back, and for $250, again, they were half off, but we got a couple copies of the Forza Motorsports with the Xbox Live Arcade. That one's obviously missing the manual, but I'll resurface those and I'll put those in the bin for, I'll throw them in as trades or whatever. This one was just the regular Forza case, but it did have the Xbox Live Arcade disc inside. So I thought, you know, $5 for the pair wasn't the worst deal of all time. And you never know, there might be a following for that type of stuff in the future, but who knows. 49 cents, it might have been half off. Paul Hogan, Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles. I can't name any other thing that Paul Hogan ever did in his life other than play Crocodile Dundee. So I don't even know if he's still alive, but yeah, fan favorite movies back in the day. Everybody loved Crocodile Dundee. That'll go on the VHS shelf that is now turned into 2 shelves on the shelving unit there. But anyway, yeah, Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles. I don't think I ever saw this movie, but we'll check it out. Anyway, so I'm playing some games, and I'm getting down to the end here where it's actually like July 2nd today. But last week, you know, I wanted to play a game that I had not played before, and I hadn't played a PS2 game, so I grabbed Rise of the Silver Surfer. Oh God, Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer on PlayStation 2, and I played it. It's actually pretty good. I gave it a B+. You'd think that it would be a cheap movie tie-in game, but actually it's quite good. It's a top-down Diablo Ultimate Alliance type game, and it just, yeah, like I said, it was really good. If you have it, give it a try. You can get it for cheap, but I quickly learned, well, I'll just explain it. All right, so I'm the only one that really cares about this. Probably 99% of you don't care. But I was watching a video about this game last night. I'm getting ready to start playing it. Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer on the PS2. Now, this was on, you know, 7th gen consoles, and I think Game Boy Advance or DS or something. But yeah, not a rare game or anything. But the guy was like, there's 3 different versions of the game. And you'll see this free movie pass inside. And when you turn it over on the serial number 21544P, it's got a P for pass. The regular version doesn't have a letter there, nor does it have this blue circle. So this is the edition that I had. Oh God, that got real foggy. Okay, so this is the one that I had in my collection. It's supposed to have a movie pass, so I got kind of excited. I opened it up, and it doesn't have a movie pass inside the manual, which was a bummer. But then I learned that there was another version of the game. You can see this doesn't have a blue circle on the front, but if you turn it over, it says, oh God, free inside bonus custom Fantastic Four comic. And you can see it's 21544C for comic. And then I got this today at the Heath Flea Market for $4. Again, this is sort of like a bolo. You want to be on the lookout for this. And there it is. It's got the comic inside. So because I like Silver Surfer, I'll probably try and track down another copy of this one with the actual ticket still inside, and another version of just the regular one. Now, I know that seems like ridiculous, but I never do that. But because it's Silver Surfer and I love Silver Surfer, and you never know, Marvel might make a movie. But anyway, this version with the comic book is starting to actually kind of get a little expensive. There's one on eBay for $29.99. So that's your bolo. Look out for Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer on PS2 with either the comic book or the movie ticket. If you can get those for under $5, I would say they're probably pretty good investments. So now I have an extra copy of the P version that doesn't have the pass. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Probably throw it in the doubles bin. I'm going to keep this one that has the comic book, you know, like I showed in the pre-video there. And I realized I only showed the back, but there's the front of the comic, and it's essentially a full comic book, you know, where Doom's coming around, and there's an earthquake, and the Fantastic Four have to stop whatever it is that's going on before all the Silver Surfer mayhem. But yeah, I'd like to get all 3 versions of that game, and they're still pretty cheap, so you should be able to go out there and get them if you want them. But I would say don't pass it up, because the gameplay as you're probably watching right there. It's not bad. Not a bad game at all. I actually enjoyed it. All right, so we stopped by Maxine's. You guys saw I got the Tomb Raider trilogy, that over there. I traded in a Guitar Hero for the Xbox One that I got at a garage sale that didn't have the dongle. I think I got it for like $2, and I got $20 in trade credit. So I grabbed Need for Speed Pro Street, which I didn't have for my PS3 collection. I don't know if there's any unlockables on here, but anyway, I got that for $12. And then I needed a Super Nintendo N64 AV cable. And out of all the box consoles that I have, I've got, 4 Nintendos and 2 Super Nintendos and a Nintendo 64. Just been very fortunate that I only need 2 of these. So now I only need 1 and a very nice copy of Super Mario All-Stars to go with my Super Nintendo box. I was digging through their Atari games and grabbed these, so I got these, but it's Enduro. Great game, man. I missed out on this game, but fantastic game. Definitely recommend it. I needed a copy of Lost Luggage that was $2, but mine was missing the top label. So this is actually the copy that I got, and the copy that's missing the labels on my eBay store. Holy crap, spit it out. And then of course Spider-Man is a game that I had when I was a kid and I loved it. And actually GenXGrownUp is going to do a video on Parker Brothers Atari games. I'll leave a link to GenXGrownUp's channel down below so you guys can check that out. But yeah, some Atari games. I think he charged me like 15 bucks for all of these. So not a bad deal. Essentially we got Lost Luggage for free. That's kind of how it worked out, but yeah, cool. So Tyler and I went out a couple weeks ago, last week and a half ago, whatever. And we were at the Heath Flea Market. They had a copy of Rocket Knight Adventures for $22, loose cartridge, which I was thinking about it like all week. Like I should have just bought that game for 22 bucks because it's like a $35 game. You know what I mean? If that, if you go to a store, sometimes they have it for like 40 or 45 just for the cartridge. So I knew it was a good deal. So I go back and I grab this cartridge off the shelf and I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna bite the bullet and pay for it. But hold on one second. All right, sorry. So I just want to mention this real quick. At the Buckeye Games and Flea Market, they have these Matchbox cars for like $1, and they're vintage. They're like from the 93 to 98, somewhere in there, but they're $1 a piece. I got this beautiful Mustang and a bunch of Corvettes, but that's all on my toy channel. I'll leave a link to that down below. But anyway, get back to our story. So I'm looking through Brian's games, and I see a copy of Rocket Knight Adventures in his display case in a Universal game case. And it says has book, has manual. So I'm like, can I check that out? And he wanted like 45 bucks. So I grabbed it and I put it in a regular Genesis case, but I think he thought that this cover art was reproduction cover art, and it's absolutely not. It's a very good paper. It's high gloss. I mean, it is an actual cover art. So he just thought that he had the game in the manual for 45 bucks, which I think is a fair deal anyway, considering the game goes for, like 30, 35 bucks. So I got the game and the manual. Holy crap, spit it out. We're having a tough time talking today. And the cover art, and it was 45 bucks. And he's looking at it and he goes, oh man, you got a deal on this, didn't you? I'm like, yeah, because I think that cover art's real, bro. I'm pretty sure it is. There's no bleeding. There's no like everything on it is right to be cover art. So yeah, I was very happy to get a complete copy of Rocket Knight Adventures for essentially half the price, since it's about an $80 to $90 game. But yeah, put that on the Genesis shelf for sure. So that's all the pickups. I mean, we put the Super Nintendo that was sitting here, we put it back in its box, put it upstairs in the closet so it stays nice and minty. And I drug out the Sega Genesis Model 2. So I look forward to playing a lot of Genesis games the last half of the year. I already started my assault on Contra Hardcore, made it about 4 steps and then died. But anyway, I got a game recommendation for you guys. Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, for sure. But Need for Speed The Run. Now this was a recommendation that I got. And thank you, Tyler, for hooking me up with a case and a manual that is in minty condition. But The Run is a different sort of Need for Speed game. It is not like an arcade racer where you're turning laps and you're trying to upgrade your car to go back to those same races to win gold medals. This is a cross-country sprint style race where you start in San Francisco and you end up in New York. There's 10 stages. Each stage has between 4 and 6 little segments, races that you have to complete, but it's not really a racing game. And I think people don't understand that. It is an action-driven story game that uses driving to tell the story. Cars are heavily rubber banded to where even if you pass them, they will fly right past you and get to the spot they're supposed to be at, that scripted moment for you to pass them. They try and make it as action movie as possible, but it is not like a racing game where, like I said, you're turning laps and you're trying to upgrade your car and all that thing. It is absolutely a story-driven action game. I can't say that enough. The graphics look beautiful. The story is kind of hokey, right? It's 2011. You owe money to the mob, and if you win the race, then you get the $25 million. You can pay the mob back. I mean, right? It's the same crap over and over from about 2005 to about 2015. You know what I mean? Because even in this game, the mob's trying to crash you out and hurt you, and it's like, do they not want their money back? There's like some serious plot issues like that. You know what I mean? Where it's like, why wouldn't they help you? They want their money, right? So it's just weird. But anyway, the Need for Speed The Run, super cheap. 7th gen exclusive, was on the Wii, the 360, the PS3. The PS3 version has some exclusive content, including an exclusive car, the Bugatti Veyron Super Sport. And it's unfortunate because a lot of those cars are locked behind an online multiplayer that no longer exists. So unfortunately, you can't get access to them. I'm sure someone out there has a program or something you can download onto your PS3 and it will unlock those cars, or a magic flash drive you can pop in there. But to not be able to do it naturally is kind of a bummer. It's also never been re-released or remastered. So I think if you're collecting PS3, definitely grab The Run and add it to your collection. And make sure you get the limited collector's edition or whatever it is. Graphics are beautiful. Completely marked out. Their dedication to authenticity is absolutely remarkable. There's a spot in Colorado where it's kind of snowy and you go through the turns and you get on I-70, which is a huge freeway, goes coast to coast almost here in the United States. Goes right past the house out here. I mean, 70 is a main, so it was kind of a mark out moment, like, oh, I know that road, right? And then when you get to the Midwest, which is where I live, we have a lot of sort of backcountry roads that are a little bumpy, and they create that authenticity with stunning detail. Very slim roads with ditches, drainage ditches, because we get a lot of rain, a lot of snow. We have drainage ditches on the side of the road. Whereas when you're driving through the desert, there's a little berth on the side of the road. You can go off the road a little bit. But just that attention to detail is absolutely incredible. So I highly recommend Need for Speed The Run. Again, it should be under 15 bucks, and make sure you get like the limited edition that's complete, but definitely give it a try. But go into it understanding that it's not a racing game. It is 100% a story-driven action game. All right, so that is gonna do it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. What have you been picking up? Make sure you leave a comment down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share on social media. Don't forget to bang that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of your CM retro gaming goodness. Guys, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you on the next one.